Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Warfel? Or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends Experience on Sunday, August 23rd. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and your football signed by the Gator Heisman winner. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of the Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at fllegends.com. That's fllegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be part of Gator history.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Life, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Wednesday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF. Tori is going to produce the program today. First time Tori's been producing Sports Scene today. So we thank her for her work. We've got a busy day if all goes the way it should. Don't forget, tomorrow, Graham Hall will host Sports Scene, and then we are off until August 3. Going to take a little break. All of us around here are going to take a break from our shows, and much needed. Get a little R&R. As always, we come to you live today from the Gator Trim Light Studio. You know, they can make your home, your business, your pool deck, your landscape lighting, whatever it is that might be, a great thing. Visit GatorTrimLight.com and they will make that happen for you. Also, we are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. And they're good people, been doing business with them for over 40 years. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. These are the people to see. When you go to see them, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. All of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. All right. Today, we have a lot of people here. And first, you all know the World Cup is going on. Well, Nick Zimmerman here, the Gator soccer coach, is going to talk about his team, the World Cup. We will take calls if you have any for him, questions. Because if you're going to ask about the World Cup, he's the guy, not me. He's the guy. Welcome.
Welcome. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
There you go. First of all, your overall thoughts so far on the World Cup. What surprised you in a good, bad way? What are your overall thoughts?
I think it's been pretty exciting. You know, you're starting to see a lot of games come down that are either goals are scored in the last 3-4 minutes of each half, at the end of the game, especially the last 3 or 4 days. It's been very exciting. A few people criticized the United States coach, you know, for losing the last match they had. And again, I know my soccer knowledge is in a thimble, but look, you don't want to play players extensively where you can get another yellow card or get somebody hurt. Did you think the strategy was right? Yeah, I mean, when you've already advanced and
right.
You've clinched the group,
yeah.
Right now it's making sure that you
depth is going to be important as we go through this tournament, right? So I think the big thing is getting, Christian Pulisic some minutes, looking good. It was basically a completely new back line. So there were some variables that were changing. And the last thing that you want to do in a game that ultimately really doesn't matter is put us in a position that doesn't give us the best chance to ultimately do what, he and the rest of the U.S. want, which is to make a run to win this thing.
All right, if you have questions for Coach, either about the World Cup or about his team, very simple. Call us up, 392-8255. That's our Titan MRI and Imaging phone line, TitanMRI.com. Find out more. The email is srussell@wruf.com. That's brought to you by International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Let me ask this, too. If I said to you right now, Coach, top 3 teams in the World Cup now, where would you go with that?
I mean, yesterday, if you watch France, they looked pretty good.
They did.
I mean, you don't have to know a lot about football to know that they've got some pretty dynamic players. You got to like them. I mean, there's a guy out of Argentina that the guy above basically just anointed and said, "Here you go, you are welcome." It's one of those fairy tales for him as well. So you got to put Argentina up in there, and then it's Spain. You look at them, Spain. You got England on right now. So if I didn't say anything about them, Coach David would be upset with me. But I think right now you look at it, and if you're a U.S. fan, you've got to be excited about potentially the draw, but also, how we've looked. This is, I've know guys that are on the national team, Tim Howard and stuff, and, we've been texting back and forth. This is an exciting group because there's so many players that are playing overseas. Like, we look different than what we've looked like in the past. And, it's a team full of belief, and a lot of credit to Coach Pochettino, who's said, why not us type of thing, And so playing in the U.S., that matters. Like, playing here, that helps, when you feel that juice, you feel that, you look at it right here in the swamp when you come here and play in football, you feel that. And so, being here, it's a great opportunity, and I think tonight the crowd will be rocking.
Here's a call here for you, Byron. Hello.
Hey, Steve. Thank you guys for taking my call, Coach. I'm trying to get into this soccer, man. I'm loving what the USA. So welcome aboard, man.
Thank you.
I'm an NBA fan, Steve, will tell you. So my question is going to be, we get these breakaway dunks, man, with nobody down there. That'd be the thing. Coach, help me understand, what is an offside?
Yeah,
I'm trying to...
that's the one that everybody gets. Everyone asks me that. Sometimes our players don't understand it, so don't feel bad. Essentially, right now, it's if you are behind the last player. So, like, when you look at a fast break point and everybody's down there right around the three-point line or in the paint, and there was LeBron James on the other side of the court, and one of his teammates just throws him a ball, that would be offsides, right? So essentially, you can't be behind the last guy. You've got to make sure that you're even with. And now with this technology, I mean, it's even a pinky, a fingernail, and they're gonna crush your dreams. And right now, I'm just seeing Congo scored against England. So Coach David's not going to be great.
Oh, yeah, they just did score. How about that?
And, man, Steve Mike can tell you, I don't know if you listen to the show because I stay on here. I love sports of all kinds, but I'm rooting for the European teams. I think Germany and the Netherlands are some of some big upsets, so I'm definitely pulling for the USA. And real quick, man, I'm amazed with the toughness in soccer. Coach, explain to me, what is a foul? Because I see them pulling on their jerseys and doing everything.
Yeah, he asked me that yesterday, and you were coming on, so you could help.
I would like to say that we're getting tougher on the men's side, but I think you're a lot tougher on the women's side. Right now, you see people that get touched in their shin, and they're grabbing their eye and their face and rolling all over. So I don't really know what a foul is anymore, because these players at this point, anytime they get touched, they start screaming bloody murder.
Well, I'll tell you what, keep up the good work. And soccer is growing in America. I'm definitely watching it, man. Go Gators.
I appreciate you.
Byron,
go Gators.
Thank you. I know you want to call it football, so I'll
if you don't mind.
That. No,
that's okay.
You're the guest, so we will call it football. I have no problem. Speaking of Germany, a little surprised they haven't done well?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a country right now that has some questions to answer. Just looking at yesterday and looking at the results or this week, and that was a team that was expected to go and make a run for it. And you watch the game, there was chances, but the longer you go in these games and it's 0-0 or 1-1, and you give the other team hope. And at this point, the Paraguays and these teams, Morocco, they got nothing to lose. And yesterday you saw a Moroccan team that played proper football against the team in Holland that basically just parked the bus. And that's disappointing for a powerhouse like Holland to go out there and sit in and just absorb. It's, I don't know, it's just different from our philosophy.
Mike, International Diamond Center email, the U.S. has gotten an easy draw. I think it's fool's gold. When they play one of the best teams, we'll see how good they really are.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right, you can't control who you play, right? So you just go out there and you play. Yeah, do we have a favorable draw? Absolutely. But, I think Germany felt the same way. So did Holland, and, they're done. And England probably felt the same exact way right now against the Congo, and they're 1-0 down. So, you play who's in front of you, and at the end of the day, that's all you can do.
Got another call for you here and a question. Hi, David. How are you?
Good, Steve. Hey, Coach. Welcome to the University of Florida. I hope it's just a great stay. Coach, so I was at the inaugural game of the University of Florida. I live in Tallahassee, but it was down there, and we played our rival from my hometown, Tallahassee, and we beat their butt. It was really fun to start both programs' inaugural game in soccer. And we went on to some really good early success and won a national championship, and all was well. Abby Wambach, just lots of really good stuff going on in games. And then all of a sudden things weren't quite as good. But up here, things have taken off. And I took my granddaughters to see us play them here in town this year, and they beat our ass. It was like 8-0. And what do we got to do? Is it foreign players? Is it coaching? What do we got to do to get back on the Gator winning track?
Yeah, I mean, credit to Coach Krikorian that came before Coach Penske. They've both done an incredible job, and obviously the goal here is to go out and compete like the way we used to, right? And the history and the tradition of this program is something that I and along with the staff don't take lightly. Our players understand now what it means to wear this jersey, and so it certainly is a game that is scheduled and that is circled for us. We know the importance of that game, and I can promise you one thing: we're going to go out there and we're going to fight like hell to make everyone proud.
Great. I know we will. And go USA.
Go USA.
All right, David, thank you.
I'm not a giant soccer fan, but it's fun.
That's okay.
All right, thank you. Speaking of that, why is it, and I'm not saying it hasn't gotten more popular, I think soccer has, but why do you think it's been a little slow in making, catching up to the world, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, you look at, football as a whole internationally, right? It's the most popular sport in the world.
Yeah.
But you look at it, and what you're seeing now in the States is this is the best time for the U.S. to host a World Cup, right? You can see the love, you can see the passion, you can see the investment on both, the MLS and the NWSL. So I think you're going to start to see, especially if U.S. makes a run, you're going to start to see it continue to catch on. But again, in America, it was baseball, basketball, football. Like those were the sports.
Yep.
And overseas, it's football and it's cricket and it's rugby, right? So you don't have basketball, baseball over there. So it's just, I joked every time, when I was a player, I said I picked the right sport, wrong country, early on. And so, but it's been incredible to see, just walking around and seeing the people in the U.S. shirts, et cetera. So I think the U.S. has done an incredible job with the host sites. The fans have come out and supported. It's been, I know a lot of people that have gone to some matches and they said it's been a different feel for sure.
All right, let's get a phone call here. Mike, hi.
Yeah, Coach, welcome to Gator Nation. I love Gator women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really supportive of them. And the basketball team, I think, was in a bad place because they were funded the worst in the conference. And it's hard to be successful when you don't get the proper funding. So I want to ask you, are you being given the proper funding to go out and get the soccer players we need to be a championship program.
I can tell you one thing. Since I arrived here, Scott Strickland, Amy Hollis, Duke Warner, they've been incredible, right? They said, what do we need? And they've been great. So I couldn't be more grateful. I couldn't be more thankful for them and and all the resources that they provided us.
Yeah, and I appreciate you talking about having pride when you're wearing that uniform. I haven't seen the leadership that we saw when we were being successful, so I'm sure you're going to bring that back.
I can give you one thing. We're going to work like hell, and no one's going to want to play us. That I can promise you.
Well, that's all Gator fans ask.
Yeah.
Just give it everything you got. Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thank you.
Mike, thank you. I would disagree with that because I think Gator fans want wins. Working's great, but I've been around a little bit. I know what Gator fans, but I get the point he's making. Can you stay one more segment?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to ask about your team and what's going to happen here. So stay with us. We'll talk more soccer here as you listen to Sports Scene coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF. Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their pressed ciabatta pesto chicken with fries, grilled chicken, assorted roast peppers, mushrooms, mozzarella, and pesto aioli.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Soccer Sticker Fever is here at Miapa. Every Wednesday from 4 to 9 p.m., bring the family for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids ages 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 convenient locations. Miapa Soccer Sticker Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 4 to 9 p.m.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey man, what's Hard Rock Bet giving new players?
If you win your first $5 bet, you get $150 in bonus bets.
$750? ¿Cuánto?
Whoa, was that Ronaldinho? Sounds like his first bet scored.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Albuquerque. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. We are talking football/soccer today with Gator head coach Nick Zimmerman. You want to contact him. This is our last segment with him. Got a question for him. International Diamond Center email, a couple of questions for you, Nick. Sam says, can you ask Coach if his UF team will be more defensive-minded or they try to be a more scoring-minded team?
Yeah, we're going to try and score goals. We're going to want the ball. We're going to dominate. We want to dominate the ball, and we're going to throw a lot of numbers forward. So it's going to be high risk, high reward.
Dustin, I love the women's soccer team here at Florida. I'm friends with Lena Bailey.
Yeah, LB's. I'm not surprised. LB's the social butterfly.
Let's talk about your team for a second. You brought a lot of transfers with you, and without ever meeting you, without ever knowing who you were, that impressed me. I'm not just saying it because you're here. For kids to follow, wanting to follow whoever the coach is, I thought was really indicative of what you could bring to the table here, and I think it says a lot about you because you got a lot of your kids that are here now.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I mean, it was a special group, and they decided to get in and kind of follow in what we did at Mississippi State and see what we can do here. But it's been a great spring in twofold, right? The first was we had to understand what our identity was and who we were going to be. And then the second was obviously merging both groups, right? You have two separate groups, and I think that was the big elephant in the room on day one is how is this going to work? And credit to the players, credit to the staff. I think we did a great job of not only being open-minded and curious, but really intentional in wanting to develop these transformational relationships. And ultimately, we ended spring where we looked around as a staff and said this was some of our best work holistically in terms of who we are and what we stand for, and just having the girls back now on campus. They're beginning their workouts now with our strength coach, and there seems to be a different energy and juice, which is what you want. So
how did it take a while to mesh, or was it pretty quick?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously every coach has their own idea of how they want to play, right? Stylistically, the methodology, what we stand for, our standards are non-negotiables. And so it was making sure that everyone understood what our standards were and our non-negotiables. And then it was every single day making sure that we're protecting them. And then when everyone can protect them, that's when you can then stretch them. And so, it was really, really cool to see both groups come together, and then it didn't matter. It was you were here or you were here. It was we represent the University of Florida. So that was something that as a coach you're really proud of.
How deep a team do you have, or how confident are you about your depth at this point?
I mean, we've certainly went out and brought in players that we feel can play multiple positions, but also again we'll bring in another 9 that are here now. So various different positions, various roles. So we're excited about, obviously getting to work with them here in 2 weeks.
I'm going to go into a dangerous place here. Style of play. You can go over the top, you can go whatever.
Yeah.
But what if I'm a novice soccer fan is listening, style of play offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to defensively we want to press, meaning we want to go as high up the field and try and win it as close to their goal as possible.
Okay.
When we have the ball, we want to dominate it, meaning we don't want to give it away, right? Like we want to have it. We want to be able to score, and we call it multidimensional. We want to be able to go over the top and behind, around, through. So, we put a lot of onus on our players in terms of the cognitive about them solving problems, and so that's how we train. And for us, it's sit back and enjoy them as they navigate through that process.
All right, we're going to keep Coach for another 2 or 3 minutes here. So if you have a quick question, please get it, either email it or call or however you want to do it. I think the first time you were here, I don't think I asked you this, how'd you get into coaching?
So I was fortunate to play professionally, and you get hurt, right? The one thing you never think will happen to you. But when I was a player, I was always curious. I would always ask the coach, about what we were trying to do that game. And, I was annoying, I'm sure, to the point where he's like, just play, And so he was like, man, you asked some really good questions. You'd be a really good coach. And so I started to get into it on the side, with a local club team. Then I started to do individuals, small group training, almost built an academy. And then it was, all right, well, what are we going to do? I'm not ready for the 9-to-5 real world. Let's see how far we can take this. And then it kind of, one thing led to another. Reached out to a friend and said, hey, how do I get into the coaching world? And, he made a call, and next thing you know, I'm in the college game.
That's really cool. The other thing I wanted to ask about is when you recruit a kid, without going into the whole deal, what do you pitch? What are you trying to say about, player X coming to the University of Florida?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now it's exciting because there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of momentum, right? And I said the same thing 5-6 years ago when I recruited kids to Mississippi State. It was, you have a chance to be a part of a legacy and history. We're going to do something that's never been done before. We're going to go and we're going to win an SEC championship. And some people laughed, and some people wanted to get on board. And 4 years later, we go 10-0, and we win the SEC championship, and we're number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And so it's a similar pitch, and we want to change the way the game's played. We want to play. I joke all the time. You look at Barcelona in the 2000s with Pep, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. Like, that was sexy football. That was sexy football. It was nice, right? Who doesn't want to be a part of that? And that's what we're trying to emulate. And we're coming. We're coming. So, we want you to be a part of that with us as we go and chase, greatness.
All right. We started with the World Cup. We'll end with the World Cup. Discuss the USA's next match. For people who don't know, who's it against? What has to happen for the USA?
Yeah, I would say Bosnia. I don't want to butcher the last, but
Herzegovina.
Yeah, Herzegovina. Yeah. That's why you're the guy they pay the big bucks to. But yeah, I mean, I think it's, again, right, it's one of those games that everyone looks, oh, well, U.S. will play Belgium in the next round. And I think if there's one thing that we've learned in these last couple of days is, you got 90 minutes to figure it out against this team, and they've got nothing to lose. And, that makes the team very, very scary when you got nothing to lose. So we've got to go out. We've got to, dictate the game, like we have the ball, create chances. If we can score early, I think that would be an ideal start for us, get the crowd behind us, and then just keep going.
All right. Let's see if this is for Coach. If it is, we'll hold on for a second. What do you do to get away? Do you get away now? How much do you get away from it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, this obviously the last 6 months has been different.
Yeah.
Just with there's so many moving parts. I like to play golf, so I actually went back this weekend to Mississippi so my wife could see her family, see the baby, and I was able to play golf Friday, Saturday, which Friday was no good. Saturday was a little bit better, but certainly humbling.
Yeah, for me, I'm not. It isn't ever good. A good hole is good. All right, we'll end with a question from Porter. Porter, go.
Hey, I'm watching the World Cup this year. About the only time I watch soccer is every 4 years heavily, and I noticed it's a lot more physical, at least, than I remember. And I'm curious, is college ball going that way too, or is it going the other direction? I'd like to get your comment on the physicality of the game as a whole.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, no, appreciate it. Thanks for the call and thanks for a great question. I think right now what you're seeing is in the World Cup you're going to find. I mean, it's win or go home, right? You're representing your country, and there's no greater honor. And so, the refs have done a pretty good job of letting things go. And in the college game, it's very similar. I think certain conferences are, more physical than others. The SEC being a pretty athletic and physical league, so you're going to see some fouls that are probably more accustomed to seeing that are play on, as opposed to certain conferences where every little foul like this, it's you hear the whistle. So it's all predicated, I think, upon the league, the ref, the moment, the scenario, all of it.
Appreciate you being here. Enjoy this summer, and when your season gets going here, we'll get you back. Always appreciate you. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take a break, come back. We appreciate Nick talking football here with us as the World Cup's going on. Coming up next, speaking of football, we're kind of previewing some of Florida's upcoming opponents for the season. Kentucky is next on the preview list as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Your heart health matters. That's why Titan MRI and Imaging and Gainesville Open MRI are offering a coronary calcium scan for just $99. This quick, painless CT scan takes about 15 minutes and can help identify calcified plaque in your heart's arteries, giving you valuable insight to your future heart attack risk. The results provide a calcium score that can help your doctor determine the best preventive care plan for you. Schedule your scan today at GainesvilleOpenMRI.com. Live longer, live healthier. Titan MRI and Imaging with 3 convenient locations in Gainesville and Lake City. Serving you better.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now you've heard about the Florida Legends experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at fllegends.com. That's fllegends.com.
Thursdays just got a whole lot better. At Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, it's prime rib night, and it's everything you've been craving. We're talking slow-roasted, perfectly seasoned USDA prime rib, carved just the way you like it, served with a jumbo loaded baked potato and all the classic fixins. Simple, legendary, done right. This isn't just dinner, it's a weekly tradition. And hey, you asked, the head ball coach delivered. Join us every Thursday for premium prime rib night at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Come hungry, leave legendary.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
By the way, if you have a text you want to get to us, 352-325-3777. That's the B&D Electric text line. Don't forget, B&D Electric gives you professional, reliable electrical service you can trust. Schedule them at bdelectric.com. Any YouTube questions, Tori gets them to me, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, founded on the UF campus, serving our community for 90 years. And Facebook Live questions, all courtesy of Ruse Ugra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville for car, casualty, home, and life insurance. Let's now go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line, a good friend of the show. I've been doing this now because we're done with spring football. The portal is closed. So now we're going to take a quick look at some Gator opponents on the schedule in football. Kentucky, one of them. Jeff Picoro joins us here now from the Kentucky Network. Jeff, always a pleasure to have you. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, as always.
First of all, a lot of similar things here, Jeff, with a new coach here, a new coach at Kentucky. What's the vibe been like with the new coach and the new coaching staff?
Well, probably exactly like it is in Florida. John is such a great hire. You guys got, I think, the next Coach Spurrier down there. He's that good, man. You're going to love him. Here in Lexington, it's kind of the same thing. There's a lot of excitement. I played with Will's dad back in the early 80s. And, boy, he's a chip off the old block of his father. He's a little undersized guy, so he's got that chip on his shoulder, and he brings a lot of energy, just like John has done for you guys in Florida. I think the same thing here with Will.
Mark Stoops did a really nice job there considering everything, Jeff, but was it time for him to go? Was this the right thing to do as far as Kentucky football was concerned?
Yeah, I think it was. I talked to him about 4 years ago when all this NIL stuff started, and he was just looked like he was worn out. And I said, hey, are you having fun? He said, no, man, this isn't fun. The only fun is the 2.5 hours we're out on the field or game days on Saturday. He goes, the rest of it is really a pain in the you-know-what. And I just think, he's, to me, Mark Stoops is kind of the old-fashioned type of coach, Like, I don't want to say the Woody Hayeses of the world, but, he's kind of that way. His father knew Woody very well, Jim Tressel and those guys, Bo Schembechler. So he's kind of in that tree, and I think he just wants to coach football. He doesn't want to do everything that's associated with it, and I really think he just needed a reset. So he took a little time away. He's going to be at Texas this year. We'll see what happens, but no, I think it was a great move by him and the university.
Everybody wants to know about the quarterback position, Jeff. What does Kentucky have there?
Yeah, Kenny Minchie, the kid from Notre Dame. He was the backup last year at Notre Dame. If you listen to people at Notre Dame, he just missed out, with the air quotes there on the radio on game. But he's a kid that he can really throw the football, man. He's not a guy like Will Levis that's going to tuck it and run people over. But he can get out of his own way. You know what I mean? He can move the pocket a little bit. He's going to run if he has to, but he knows to get down and not try to, be Tim Tebow and Will Levis type where they just try to run guys over. He's not that, but he can really wing it. He's got some nice receivers to throw to.
From an expectation standpoint, Jeff, you know what Kentucky basketball is. It's been that way forever. Mark did a good job of elevating Kentucky's program. I don't think anybody would dispute that. But from a fan base with a new coach now, Jeff, what's their expectation with him?
Well, it's interesting you ask that question because that's a great question. He has brought in so much excitement he says, look, I'm going after the guys that Florida and Georgia and Alabama and LSU and Ohio State are going after. And he's got them. This is the best class that Kentucky's ever had, as good as the 74 class that brought in, eight all-SEC players and 5 guys who went on and played in the NFL. This is that good. And, I mean, he's got, 8 4-stars already. They're going to know about there's another defensive lineman that's going to, I think today's the day he's going to announce or whatever. But it's a fantastic class. They've gone all over the country to bring kids in. I think that the difference between Mark and him, Mark opened up the Ohio market for Kentucky, meaning that, players from Cincinnati and Cleveland and stuff. But what Will has done is he said, I'm not taking a backseat to anybody. I'm going to recruit the best players in the country and hope they come here. And right now it's a top 20 recruiting class.
Jeff Picaro joining us here talking about Kentucky football as the Gators will play Kentucky this fall. The other thing I wanted to ask about, Jeff, is from a talent standpoint in terms of strength of the team. If I said to you, here we are in June, what do you think the strength of this Kentucky team will be? How would you answer that?
I think it's in both trenches. They went out and made a concerted effort. They got the starting right guard, who's an all-conference player from Ohio State. They went out and got Lance Hurd, who's an all-SEC player, the left tackle from Tennessee, started the last 2 years. And they went out and got Baylor's starting center, who was all Big 12 first-team center. So they've got depth in the offensive line. The defensive line, they brought in a couple of guys as well. They only lost one guy on the defensive front. So I think that really the trenches are right now, I would say, they have a saying down here. It's called the Big Blue Wall that the great John Schlarman started that when he was the offensive line coach here before he passed away. And I think the Big Blue Wall is, we'll see, on paper, they're bigger, stronger, faster, but we seem to say that, every year about every team.
Last thing, it seems like, look, in this NIL world we live in, right? But it's with what he's done and the recruits he's gotten, in your knowledge, Jeff, has the NIL money or whatever, has that been a good thing for him enough to make it work?
It has. It's the portal class was a top 10 portal class. It's a top 15 recruiting class he's got coming in. But again, it's the first time he's ever been a head coach. So
Right.
we will see. You got Joe Sloan and Jay Bateman. So two guys, offense coordinator, defense coordinator, at least that know the SEC and have coached in the SEC before. And I'll tell you, here's the other thing. Youth. It is a very young coaching staff, and they seem to, kind of talk the talk with the players. They're younger, they're exciting. Here's the thing: you go out to practice. I go to practice. The minute practice starts to the minute it ends, music blaring, so it keeps the guys upbeat. There's no breaks for the 2.5 hours you're out there. And I said, why do you do this? And he says it teaches them to listen with their eyes, because we can't simulate the swamp. We can't simulate playing at Neyland Stadium in Tennessee or Georgia and those different places. So they play this music. It's loud, but it also keeps the kids on their toes. They like the music, and it's a quick, fast practice. And I just think the excitement is really neat. And we'll find out the second week of the season when they play Alabama just how good they are. But
yeah,
I'm excited.
Jeff, a lot can happen between now and opening day. You know that. Looking at the schedule with the roster, what do you think is an attainable win total year one?
Vegas has them at 4.5. I would go over, only because I think they're going to surprise somebody. They have South Carolina and Missouri, who I think are teams, and Florida that are those type of teams are on that. They're on that level, I think. And if you can get one or two of those, then that gets you to 6 wins. I think 6 wins is attainable. But like I said, I don't know yet. I've never seen them where the bullets are flying for real. Spring practice was fun, and they were good. But how are they going to be, when they play in the swamp? How are they going to be when they're playing at Auburn? How are they going to be when they're playing, at these big schools, Oklahoma, and it's for real. That part we just don't know yet. So I think they're going to surprise some people. I think they can get to 6-7 wins, but it's one of the toughest schedules Kentucky's ever faced.
All right, with that, always appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for taking the time, and enjoy some time off this summer, Jeff. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
You
Bye-bye.
got it, man. Jeff Picaro joining us here talking Kentucky football. Later on today, we're going to talk about Ole Miss. We're going to talk about South Carolina and Missouri, all coming up. All right, got a little time here. I want to tell you our first hour brought to you by Quality Plumbing. We need a quality plumber. Rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Indeed, Quality Plumbing's name does say it all. Mitchell Robinson leaves the New York Knicks. Yeah, free agency started. He gone. But look, I didn't think the Knicks had to do something because the owner doesn't want to go to the second apron. I get that, but he's gone. And you're going to see a lot of players doing that. No doubt about it. Mike Conley Jr., 1-year deal with the Celtics. So they get some players. Mo Wagner joining the Nets, and Mitchell Robinson also went to the Celtics. That bothers me. As a Knicks fan, that really bothers me. Because now he's going to be playing for them. And then, we don't know about Jaylen Brown either. So we'll see. And LeBron's out there, all of that. So it's going to be a very interesting time here as far as free agency is concerned. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we will have an open segment. So I hope you will take advantage of that. Love to hear from you. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
At International Gold Diamond and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold Diamond and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
In celebration of America's 250th, Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC makes this declaration. All Americans have the right to a new vehicle at a low interest rate. Announcing 0% financing for 60 months and no payments for 90 days on new Chevy Trax, Equinox, and Silverado 1500. Plus 0% financing for 60 months and no payments for 130 days on GMC Sierra 1500. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Partly cloudy skies and breezy for us this afternoon with occasional gusts to about 20 miles an hour. High temperatures in the lower 90s, feeling like 100 for several hours this afternoon. We do have a few showers working their way inland from the Atlantic coast. They'll track from east to west and be isolated to scattered at best in coverage. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back. Again, our first hour brought to you by our friends at Quality Plumbing. We have time for you to call. Otherwise, we're going to talk about an event that's going on in Gainesville right now for youth golf. That'll be coming up next hour, I hope. And then we're going to end the hour by talking about a whole bunch of teams that Florida will play in football and get previews from their play-by-play people or people who cover them, and that'll be a good thing. All right, let's go to a YouTube question brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Corbin says, Happy Bobby Bonilla Day. Yeah, it is. It is. And, you know, there is probably no other franchise than the New York Metropolitans who would have that happen. I mean, it's just the way it is. I don't know, maybe when I get back, we can do this. But maybe historically, right? what are the worst franchises to root for? And not because you don't like them, but just because of what they are. I have said this to you. Oh, by the way, I want to pass this along. The Florida Board of Governors confirmed Dr. Bell as the University of Florida president, 14th president. So that's been done, and that's effective immediately. So congratulations to him. Anyway, I think I've told you this before, where in the sum total of my life, where I can remember, okay? I mean, if the Yankees won the pennant in 1956, but I don't remember that. But I'm just, when I was old enough to know, I still can't, of all my teams, hockey, basketball, football, and baseball, I still can't add championships on two hands. I still can't. And I'm not 23 years old anymore. So that tells you how it's been. No doubt about it when it comes to that. International Diamond Center email from Joe. Where do you think LeBron ends up? I hope with Golden State. But I don't know if that will happen. And then the MLB trade deadline is happening. I'm always fascinated by that. This year, big time fascinated. Because you heard Xavier Scruggs yesterday from the MLB Network. What do the Marlins do? I mean, the Marlins are in the playoff hunt. Normally, they shed. Will their ownership go out and actually buy a player to help them? Alcantara, I think you could have plucked him. Is he available now? I wouldn't let him go. I mean, the Marlins are like the Mets, except the Marlins don't spend money and the Mets do it. The Marlins don't spend money and they suck. The Mets spend a lot of money and they suck. That's the difference. But they still suck, bottom line. So when you're good and you have a chance to be good, man, you better run with that. And I hope the Marlins will. I just hope they will. The Cardinals are another team. They're a little ahead of schedule. What are they going to do? It's fascinating to me. What teams will add, what teams will subtract, and we will soon see. Philip, International Diamond Center email. What do you think of the Walker Kessler trade? Well, the Lakers, again, without LeBron James, there are a lot of analysts who think they overpaid for that. But, Walker Kessler, when he's healthy, and Luka Doncic, pretty good. But, we will see. But I think he will help. And the Lakers, like the Knicks, are the kinds of teams that you have to go for it when you're in a market like that. Have to do that. Kawhi Leonard, same deal, right? There's a lot of big names that are being traded, and you don't normally see that. And that's what makes this kind of cool. Remember, Kawhi won the championship with Toronto in 2019. He's going back. All right. We'll get Porter real quick here. Porter, go ahead.
Hey, Steve, I think you're selling yourself short, aren't you? It's one from the Jets, two from the Mets, two from the Knicks, and one from the Rangers. That's six.
No, but I said two hands.
Yeah, six. That's what I'm saying. Unless you have.
Well, but in other words, it isn't full. It isn't full.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I thought you meant.
No. Even I can count that high, Porter. I got you. But no, I'm saying it didn't even.
Need 2 hands.
Yeah, it didn't even fill up 2 hands. Is where I'm going. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Anyway, I have one more thing. Oh, it was good to hear Byron talk about the physicality of soccer. I had noticed the same thing, and that's why I wanted to ask Coach. I was glad to get his perspective. As a fan, I enjoy that more. I don't know if that's. I don't know if everybody else agrees with me, and I don't know how much of it is because the coverage and camera work is so much. We're getting closer, but personally, I enjoy watching it more. I'm watching more other countries. So anyway, that's my perspective. I'd be interested. What's your take on it?
All right, thank you, Porter. Yeah, I do. I think just overall, sports is more physical. I just think that's kind of the way it is. Lou will be our final caller of the hour. Hi, Lou.
Good afternoon, Steve. I'm the one that called about the SEC strike zone, the ABS program.
Okay.
Where we talked about the guy on the ball forward thing. Did you ever figure out what's the call on that, or did you talk with anybody on that?
Refresh my memory here.
Okay, 3-1 count, 3-2 count, whatever, on the batter. Runner breaks to second base on a stolen base, and the umpire, everybody's ball 4, and so you ease up. Of course, the runner's going to kind of ease up to prevent any kind of non-issue on sliding or anything like. But they go to the ABS, and the next thing you know, they call it was a strike. It was overturned. What do you do with that runner that went from first to second base? And the infielder tagged him, but we knew that it was ball 4.
I think I did this.
Do you remember me talking about
I do
that?
now, yes. I think I did this, and I thought the runner returned to first base, but I'm going to Google that. And see, what the answer is. Because when you asked it, it was a great question. And here was my thought process: that if he gets to second, if he steals second, but it's a strike, right?
Yes.
Okay? Then
it was ball 4. It was ball 4, but we went to the AB.
Yeah, right. But it became a strike.
Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
So the batter's out. And now,
well, it didn't matter. Balls. That's fine. That's fine. Sure.
Because you said a 3-2 count.
Well, it's 3-1, 3-2. I said, but that's okay.
Okay, I'm trying to help. So if it's 3-2,
I know.
If it's 3-2, it's different than 3-1 because 3-2, then you're out.
3-1. Let's say 3-1, Steve.
Yeah. Okay. So if it's 3-1, it's called a ball, right?
Yes, sir.
And then they go back and say it's a strike.
Yes, sir.
Then I think the runner returns to first base. I believe.
Okay.
But we'll check it. But we'll check it.
That's a great. Can I give you one more real quick one?
Quickly.
Runner hits a ball in the outfield. He rounds first, goes to second base. You may have seen this going around on YouTube. He almost loses his helmet. He grabs his helmet and puts his helmet on second base with no other part of the body at second base. The infielder gets the ball on the throw from the outfielder and tags that runner. The runner is sitting there with the helmet on base and ball on the tag on the body of the runner. Is he safe or out? Does that helmet interfere?
I would say he's safe.
With the call.
I would say because the hand is holding the helmet. I would say he's safe. And I wish I had the time that you guys have to think of all these things. But, yeah.
No, I just saw it yesterday.
No, it's kind of cool.
I said, you know what? I need to spoil your vacation by doing this.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
Right,
thank you for your call.
Have a good, relaxing time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I would say that if his hand has a helmet and his hand's on the base, he's safe. All right. That's our first hour. Hour 2 coming up, and we're going to start by telling you an event that's going on right here in Gainesville. And then after that, we're going to preview some of the football teams Florida will play in the fall as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com, and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
Are you ready for your credit card to pay you back? With the Radiant Visa Rewards credit card, you'll earn points for cash, gift cards, gas, and more, just for doing what you already do. Use points at checkout or put them toward purchases later, and only Radiant gives you exclusive dime-back rewards, plus no annual fee, cash advance fee, and no balance transfer fee ever. It's the card that gives you a little more every time you use it. So when you're ready, apply for the Radiant Visa Rewards credit card at radiantcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome into Hour 2 of Sports Scene. It is a pleasure to talk sports with you every day. Today's our my last day for a little while. Tomorrow, we will have a guest host. I will tell you who that's going to be, and then we're going to take a little time off for the summer. But we have a packed hour this hour today. We really appreciate all of our sponsors. Our first hour sponsored by Quality Plumbing. And this hour, hour 2, brought to you in part by Domino's Pizza. Nobody delivers like Domino's, whether you're picking up or ordering delivery. Fast, easy, just a click away. Order at GatorDomino's.com. There is an event that's going on here in Gainesville under the auspices of the Steph Curry Underrated Golf Tour. And I'm going to talk to Will Lowery about that. He's live here in studio because there's an event going on right now in town. Will, it's a pleasure to have you here. I'll kind of throw this to you. Having Steph Curry's name behind this is certainly a good thing. How'd that all come about?
Yeah, Steph, obviously he's a basketball player, and I say this with full respect. He's a part-time basketball player, full-time golfer. Okay, now I'm not gonna say that out to guys in Golden State, California, hear that, but obviously his love for his golf is insurmountable. But obviously when you see him, growing in the game of golf, he's starting to be a household name in the golf space as well as basketball. If you know anything about Steph, his goal is to, make maximum impact as possible. When you think about what he does in community, Eat, Learn, Play, ELP, he's real big in being with, in those communities. But when we talk about golf space, sports, he wants to make a maximum impact, and that's why he created the Underrated Golf Tour. And pretty much Underrated Golf Tour is pretty much he's taking kids from different clubhouse. He wants to increase the participation rate, certain demographics in golf. And he figured out the only way he can do that is by, being intentional, having golf tournaments, kids that come from different clubhouses play just post-introduction golf. So when you think about introduction to golf, you have the first tee in the Boys and Girls Club. That's all cool. That's fine. But when we come to the AAU portion of golf, AJGA, American Junior Golf Association, he really want to be very specific and hold these type of tournaments and have these kids create a platform for these kids to perform.
Now, you have an event going on here now. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we are here on campus. Shout out to UF for letting us be here. But we have an event, our first stop of our 4 regular season tourneys, and we are currently in our first round. So tomorrow is conclusions, 36-hole tournament, and we are excited to be here. And these kids, more importantly, are having the time of their life just being on campus. We had a great conversation 2 days ago with Coach Deacon and telling us what it's like from A to Z in the recruiting process. And that's the goal for a lot of these kids. They really want to figure out how can they get to play collegially. More importantly, they really want to play big D1, and having firsthand experience, hearing from the horse's mouth what Coach JC did is pretty much is impeccable.
How many kids are in the tournament? How many in the field, and where are the kids from that are here?
Yeah, 96 kids who are playing in the field, and these kids are from all over the country. All over the world.
Wow.
We've from California to Doha, Qatar.
Wow.
Yeah, and that tells you how intentional Steph Curry really wants to be when it comes to making an impact.
How many, when you leave here, how long does this go on? How many more events will you have?
Yeah, we have 3 more events in Arizona, California, as well as New Jersey. And then we have what you call equivalent to a tour championship, Super Bowl, however you want to put it, but called the Curry Cup, which is held which is held at Bethpage. And everybody knows Bethpage is former Ryder Cup host this year, or 25. So we are, again, we want to give these kids access. One of our 3 pillars is access, equity, and opportunity. We want to make sure we follow those 3 pillars.
I hope I hope I ask a question that makes sense. I'm trying to, if you have X amount of kids here in Gainesville, mm-hmm. right, and then you go to your next event, are there different kids there? Is it the same group? How does that work?
No, and that's what Steph was very intentional in making sure that we it's not a one-stop shop. So we have 96 kids. Each kid has their what you call the underrated tour card.
Okay.
This is equivalent to like a PGA Tour card. You have to earn it. It's not given to you. And what we do is we take those kids, and I say we, Steph and his partners, they take those kids from city to city and treat them like PGA Tour players.
Wow.
We house them, we fly them around, and And again, we want to make sure we will eliminate every barrier that they may have, every hurdle that they may have to play this game. Because we understand that golf is a high barrier to entry. And what we do is we travel city to city with the kids. So when we go to California, the same set of kids, and we just want to make sure that they perform and they make the Curry Cup.
Well, what's it been like? I can only imagine if I'm however old, right, and I'm in Florida, then I'm in, I don't know, Connecticut, and then I'm in California, right? You're like a touring golf pro. What's it like for them? How big of a kick is it for them to do all of this?
Man, I say all the time, you don't know anything no more than you're exposed to. And when you see these kids who come from a different clubhouse, a different set of circumstances, and you have the opportunity to explore new things, see things that you've never seen before because of the game of golf, that's what makes this more exciting. And that's the thing that we try to preach all the time here on Underrated, is that golf can take you everywhere. I say for myself as a former professional golfer, golf has taken me to all four corners of the world. And, for these kids who are 13, 14, 15, they got some miles on their airline frequent flyer miles, right? And thankful how Steph envisioned this and making sure that, every kid has the opportunity to see something different, something new, be exposed to something. We feel like we're checking off some of our aspirations.
How'd you get into golf?
I played professionally for 10 years, but my dad got me in the game. I was a big tennis player and golfer coming up as a kid. I say the joke all the time, but there's a lot of truth to it. Everybody in the neighborhood want to be like Michael Jordan. I want to be like Michael Chain. So with that being said, between golf and tennis, I learned so much, and my parents had the wherewithal to give me understanding of what culture capital and social capital and means of upward social mobility, what that looks like. And that's one thing that we want to pass down to the kids Underrated, that golf can give you those, provide some type of capital, and more importantly, connected capital.
Can anybody come out and watch?
Yes, absolutely. And we want everybody on campus to come out and watch. Please come out and watch these young men and women who have so much talent. I mean, these guys are, you hear all the time, obviously being a sports radio show, get it out the dirt. These kids literally get it out the dirt. And they inspire me every time I see them. The weather is 100 plus degrees out there right now.
Yeah.
And they have their pail of water and they are going to work. So that embodies what the tour is all about, embodies what Steph is all about. Hard work, preparation, proper prior planning prevents poor performances, and these guys are ready to go.
Let me ask this, because I would imagine, I don't care if you're playing in the neighborhood, right? When we were kids, for example, I lived on Albert Street, and Albert Street football played Prince Street football, right? That's just what you did in your neighborhood. With these kids now, have rivalries, healthy rivalries developed?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, that's the thing about this tour. What makes it so unique? We are a family off the course, but on the course, and when the tee times start, you can see everybody gets a little quiet, and it's telling because the parents get quiet. Every parent is for every child, but when it comes to getting to that last 9 holes of a tournament, that's the tipping point, that's the inflection point. That's when you start to see the competition comes out. And once the trophy is raised by the winner, the first 15 minutes everybody's a little salty, but that 16th minute everybody's back family on to the next week, and we're honky-dory into the last 9 holes of the tournament again.
All right, I'm going to make this so if somebody's listening now, what are the remaining days, rounds people can come out and watch?
This is a 36-hole tournament. We are in the middle of our first round, close to ending, actually. But we do have our final round tomorrow. And, again, if anybody's listening, please come out and just come watch.
What time to start?
First tee time is 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
So it's a different experience. Again, when you go to a PGA Tour event, they pretty much promote being quiet. Here we have a DJ on the first tee box. The kids have their own walk-up song.
They do.
Oh my gosh! And think about it, you can see that some of the kids' personality. It's like Lamont, you're from my neighborhood. How do you know Huey Lewis and the News? Like it's wild to see. It's wild to see the range of these young men and women when it comes to their music preference.
That's really cool. You get a walk up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Last question I have, and if I missed anything, please add to it. When you've gotten to know the kids, I would imagine they have their own personalities. Mm-hmm. Has it been fun for you and your group to get to know some of these kids?
Oh my gosh, it's so fun because when you think how these kids mature, like I made a point last night in our town hall that we have, our panel discussions, that our very first class that came in just graduated college. And now you start to see these kids mature. They come in, hey, hello, Mr. Will. Then after a while, they start to be taller than you. They're looking down on you, and I had to check them a couple times, But seeing how these kids grow up into young adults, it's amazing because that. And I say this all the time. I think golf is the closest thing to a religion that I know of. And I know that they have golf in their life. I know they understand the nuances of golf and what golf can bring to them. So it makes me think that they are in good standing when it comes to how they position themselves in society.
Did I miss anything? Anything you want to add?
No. Actually, again, just come out and come watch us. If you're not able to watch us, please keep up with Underrated Golf Tour. We have a presence on Instagram, Underrated Tour on Instagram, and just watch us and keep up with us. We are all about golf, and we also want to be a conduit. If you don't know anything about golf, let us help you get involved.
I wish I had this when I was a kid. Because,
me too.
Me too. I just didn't. I never had it. And it's a great thing. I do. How many are in the group? Did I ask that? How many?
Yeah,
total?
96
Okay.
96 players in the field, and we have local qualifiers up to 10 for each group, boys and girls.
Okay, again, this is the Steph Curry Underrated Golf Tour. It's in Gainesville. You can go out and watch them play, and hopefully you do. But bring a hat because it's hot.
Hot.
Appreciate you, Will. Thank you for
so
taking
much.
time. You got it. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll start. We will talk some college football next. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF. Hey, folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
At International Gold Diamond and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold Diamond and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, you think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí.
Can I just say, you're my favorite player, ever.
Bet all of soccer's biggest matches this summer on Hard Rock Bet. And keep your cool in case you run into Ronaldinho. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. We're going to finish up by talking Gator opponents in football. And now we're going to talk to Cody Goodwin, who works for Power Mizzou, and of course we'll be talking about Missouri. Cody, good to have you. Thank you for your time. Look, Drink's done a nice job at Missouri. As you look at what might happen this year, given the schedule, everything, what do you see with this Missouri team?
Oh man, that's a good question. There's a lot of unknown, I think, about this Missouri team. There's a lot of things I think we still need to see. And when you take a gander at the schedule, I don't know if people have it sitting in front of them. You could sell me on anywhere from 5-7 to 9-3.
Wow.
And I'm not sure, I think none of any of those situations in the middle there wouldn't necessarily surprise me, just because we aren't exactly sure what we're getting with this Missouri team. They have to replace quite a bit coming into this season after last season. And the schedule's pretty tough, right? So you just don't know which version of Missouri we're going to get. And, looking at the schedule again, I'm not sure that we're really, really going to know until the Tigers take that first true road game to Mississippi State at the end of September.
Cody, if I said to you now, look at the roster as it is, where do you think the strong points would be for Missouri?
I really like the offense, man. There's enough returning, and they did enough in the portal to really suggest that the offense is going to take a step forward this season. And that's even with Ahmad Hardy still recovering from a gunshot wound. That is still even with the right tackle situation kind of being a little bit of a question mark. They brought in a transfer, Josh Atkins from Arizona State. He got hurt at the end of spring ball, so his availability to start the season a little up in the air right now. But they have a more talented quarterback in Austin Simmons, the Ole Miss transfer. They retooled the receiver room, bringing in guys like Caden Lee from Ole Miss, Caleb Goody, a speedy receiver from Cincinnati. They have a lot of experience in the tight end room. The offensive line, the rest of the offensive line still real beefed up. They brought back 3 starters from last year. And then obviously the running back room, I know we mentioned Hardy, but Jamal Roberts is as good a running back, I think, as you'll find in college football. So if he has to take the reins for a few weeks while Ahmad Hardy continues to recover, I don't think the run game's really going to fall off that much. So I think just the strength, I think, is just going to be the offense. Which part of the offense is going to be the best strength? I think that's a little bit what remains to be seen when it comes to this Missouri team.
Let's flip that. What do you see as potential areas of concern?
Ooh, I tell you what, man, I'm pretty worried about this right tackle situation. I mentioned before, they brought in Josh Atkins, an Arizona State transfer. That's a guy that's played a lot of ball and has, 39 career starts. All of those starts were at left tackle. And so now Mizzou brought him in through the transfer portal to play right tackle. So that in itself already going to be a small adjustment. But then he got hurt. And the 2 guys that they have to replace him, Luke Work, who's a Mississippi State transfer, has played quite a bit, 20 career games, 8 starts when he was in Starkville. But he's a little bit better inside than I think he is at tackle. So that's one option. The other option is a guy that they've developed through the program, Logan Reichert, a Kansas City native. He just hasn't played a lot of ball. And so I'm a little worried about that, and specifically with the right tackle situation. That's become even more important with Austin Simmons at quarterback because he's a lefty, right? So your right tackle is your blind side, and if you don't have that specific position, taken care of, it could spell trouble, I think, for the offense. I think the offense has an opportunity to take a step forward this season, but if that right tackle situation becomes a problem and Austin Simmons is continually running for his life and the offense is out of sync and off schedule, it could really hamper the entire operation. So offensively, I'm a little nervous about that right tackle situation, at least until we start seeing these guys play actual games.
In a way, Drinkwitz has, well, not in a way, he's done a really nice job there. But you know what happens to fan bases, right? You get to a certain point, you think you want more, and I hope this is a fair statement that, I think some are saying, well, maybe, it's reached its peak. We can't go further than that. Do you think there's a segment of the fan base that is like that, or am I wrong in that?
No, I think that's a fair assessment, right? Because you look at the last few years specifically, right? Like they've won 29 games the last 3 seasons.
Right.
And if the 12-team playoff would have started a year earlier in 2023, that Mizzou team won 10 regular season games, ultimately beat Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Like that 2023 team would have been in the 12-team playoff. And I really think that that's more or less what this Missouri fan base wants, that they want a team that is going to compete for SEC contention, for college football playoff spots. They want to play meaningful November games, and eventually they want to cross that threshold and get into the big dance, right? And so, you look at, the last 3 years, they won 11 games. They won 10 games. Last year was a little bit of a regression, right? They only won 8 games. The offense was really good. Ahmad Hardy had a fantastic year. The defense was as good a defense as you'll find in college football. The quarterback position really held them back last year. So Drinkwitz went out of his way this offseason to try and fix that, not just by bringing in Austin Simmons, but by surrounding him with new coaches, new offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey, new quarterbacks coach Garrett Riley, who's a previous offensive coordinator at Clemson, at TCU, at SMU, as well as Alex Adkins, who's now the tight ends coach, but he was previously the offensive coordinator at Florida State in 2023 when the Seminoles went 13-0 and won the ACC. So they're really making a big bet that they can get plus-level play out of the quarterback position and that everybody else will kind of take care of themselves and that maybe the offense will take a step forward. So I give Drink a lot of credit for what he's been able to do with this program and really this offseason specifically trying to turn what was the most obvious weakness into at least, a strength.
Last thing, you kind of touched on this a little bit, but if somebody has not seen Missouri's schedule, how do you rate it and in terms of, the competition they're going to play?
Yeah, man, it's a pretty tough schedule. If you're looking at it in front of you, they've got 4 teams that made the playoff last year between Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Georgia, like that in itself is really tough. But they also have Texas, who I think a lot of people presume could be the preseason number 1 team. They have to go to Mississippi State. That was a game that I had mentioned earlier. I don't think that game in Starkville is going to be a cakewalk, man. Like that's a team that is improving under Jeff Lebby. They played really well at home last season. They knocked off Arizona State. They took Texas and Tennessee both to overtime. Like that's a game that I think will tell us quite a bit about this Missouri team. And it's not until the end of September, right? So they've also got the rivalry game with Kansas. They have to go to Oxford to play an Ole Miss team. A&M seems to have their number a little bit. They get 3 of the last 4 games at home, but they're going to have to do quite a bit of work if Mizzou wants to be in contention to make those November games meaningful. So it's a bear, man. It's the SEC. There's really not a weak spot on that schedule outside of maybe Arkansas, and that's just because they're having to clean up quite a bit to get that program back on track.
Great stuff. Cody, where can people see your work?
Yeah, man, we're at Power Mizzou, part of the 24/7 Sports Network, and, we cover Mizzou football, men's basketball, even some non-rev sports every single day of the year. So come along and enjoy the ride with us.
Appreciate your time. Thank you for doing it.
Appreciate you.
Cody Goodwin, Power Mizzou. Coming up, Florida plays South Carolina. Their play-by-play voice, Derek Scott, will join us next. You're listening to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Your heart health matters. That's why Titan MRI and Imaging and Gainesville Open MRI are offering a coronary calcium scan for just $99. This quick, painless CT scan takes about 15 minutes and can help identify calcified plaque in your heart's arteries, giving you valuable insight to your future heart attack risk. The results provide a calcium score that can help your doctor determine the best preventive care plan for you. Schedule your scan today at GainesvilleOpenMRI.com. Live longer, live healthier. Titan MRI and Imaging with 3 convenient locations in Gainesville and Lake City, serving you better.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at fllegends.com. That's fllegends.com.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Soccer Sticker Fever is here at Miapa. Every Wednesday from 4 to 9 p.m., bring the family for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids ages 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 convenient locations. Miapa Soccer Sticker Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 4 to 9 p.m.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Make sure and come celebrate America 250 with WFT's fanfares and fireworks. Friday night, it'll be at Flavette Field here on the campus. It's the 4th of July on the 3rd of July. Fun for the whole family, live music, and of course, the fireworks, right? Festivities begin this Friday, 6 p.m., Flavette Field here on the UF campus. Well, how many fireworks will South Carolina football have this year? We're going to pose that question to their play-by-play voice, Derek Scott, who joins us as we continue our look at Gator opponents in football for the upcoming season. Derek, welcome. That's a great question. Because sometimes Carolina's been good, sometimes not so good. As you look at the roster and look ahead here, what do you see?
Well, it's interesting. First of all, Steve, great to be with you again.
Yep.
It's been the last 2 years. You talk about the Lenore Sellers show, and in year one, he was working with an offensive coordinator that really seemed to unlock what he did well. And then that offensive coordinator parlayed that success with Lenore Sellers into a head coaching job. And the replacement, which was a name everybody knew, Mike Shula, did not. Didn't seem to recognize really what had been successful for Lenore in that previous year and completely changed the way the offense ran, had it very much more in a pro style. Didn't seem to make sense for his skill set, and the struggles that followed kind of added up once you looked at it from that perspective. So he's gone. Now we turn our attention to Kendall Briles, who is very much a pretty proven commodity in the OC world in college football, and a guy who's known for spreading it out and really creating the fireworks you just alluded to. And so we're all very anxious to see if he can unlock Lenore Sellers in a manner that brings back the highlights from 2 years ago, but also reflects the fact this is a third-year starter in the SEC, and that ought to be enough to really trigger some big explosions along the way.
Offensive line was an issue. Will it be better?
Never tempt worse, right?
Right.
Never tempt worse. But I was about to utter the phrase, it has to be. It can't be worse. It was, at times last year, the phrase I used was 5 turnstiles.
Wow.
I mean, it was so sad to watch. And, Kendall Briles brought an offensive line coach with him. There's been a lot of change, as is the case in the portal era with so many programs. A lot of new faces, and there is hope that they will figure it out, because other than Lenoris's escapability, Houdini act at times, it was impossible to maintain any sort of continuity offensively when you had so many misses, blown assignments, free runners coming to the quarterback. It boggled the mind. And you go back to so much hype about season going into the opener against Virginia Tech over at the Mercedes-Benz Dome, and South Carolina won, but there were so many signs that first day that, wait a minute, this offense does not look like we thought it would, and it just obviously unraveled as the season went on, and you dealt with SEC caliber defenses. So yes, that remains the $100,000 question. But I got to be honest with you, I've been here since 2007. More often than not, it feels like that is always the question about this program is, can the O-line measure up with the skill set defensive pass rushers and run stuffers that you see in this conference? The best years we've seen, 2010 through 13, they did. And there were guys that ended up in the NFL as a result. But there have been a lot of years where they didn't, and the struggles ensued.
Derek, it's interesting because I think fans don't want to see this sometimes, that a schedule does have a lot to do with your success and who you get and who you don't. South Carolina's schedule, how does that look as far as the SEC is concerned?
Well, it's funny, when we the last couple of years when you got away from division, we spent 2 years in a row not playing the standards, not playing the guys we play every year, like Tennessee and some of the other squads that you just you got used to playing, all the East Division teams, right? And this year, with the changes made to the schedule and the addition of an extra game, suddenly it feels like we're back to the typical schedule that we all are familiar with. The only thing that's really unique about this one that stands out to me beyond just the standard difficulties you come into in this league is that Georgia, South Carolina, traditionally is an early season game. Coach Spurrier, one of his many great one-liners, one of the best was, we love catching Georgia early in the season. They usually have a bunch of guys suspended. And he gave the Bulldogs fits for years when he was in the Garnet and Black, and those are the sort of lines that you could hang your hat on. But we play them in the last week of the I always call it what used to be the dead week, where everybody had a 1AA opponent, somebody from the Southern Conference. And everybody complained so much about that now there are conference games in that next to last weekend of the season. Well, that's where Georgia lands. So that means the Gamecocks finish their season back-to-back with Georgia and Clemson. And it is most assuredly a backloaded schedule. The front end of it, there's honestly very little excuse to not get out of the gate 4-0. And build some early momentum and get this fan base engaged. If you do that, then it's going to be fun to see where it goes from there. But there's no question the back half of this schedule has more than its fair share of landmines waiting in the wings.
I'm going to end with this, Derek. And you and I both have gone through numerous coaching changes in what we do. I like Shane Beamer personally. It's been sort of up and down. Where does the fan base, in your opinion, sit with him? Are they kind of rooting for him to, do well and stay there?
I think so. I think most folks here recognize from the beginning, Shane didn't view South Carolina as an available job, as, hey, I can be an SEC head coach. Having worked here previously under Coach Spurrier, and having to some degree spent some of his younger formative years here when his dad was early in his career coaching at the Citadel. Shane loves it here, and he wanted the South Carolina job. He didn't just want an SEC job. And I think our fan base picked up on that very early on, and they have supported him throughout as a result. Obviously, like any fan base, you get frustrated when it's not going well. But he's got more support here, I think, than maybe some outsiders probably understand. And there's no question people, by and large, want to see him succeed here with this program.
All right, we will indeed see what happens. Don't forget, we'll get Derek back when Florida and South Carolina do their thing. Always appreciate you, my friend. Take some time off, and we will talk to you soon.
All right, bud. Take care.
You got it, Derek. Thank you. Good dude. Derek Scott, play-by-play voice of South Carolina. And, I will say this. Shane Beamer's been here a couple of times at Spurrier's place, and I've always found him to be engaging, good interview. But when you watched them last year and their offensive line, it was like, how could a Division I team be that bad on the offensive line? I mean, they were bad, historically bad. So, again, we will see. All right, our last 15 minutes or so. Again, you want to get a text in, 352-325-3777, courtesy of B&D Electric. Any YouTube questions from Campus USA Credit Union. Tori gets me Facebook questions from Ruse Ogra State Farm. And check out our daily clip of the day on WRUF Facebook and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators, brought to you by Fairlife Milk. And a big thank you to Meldon Law, sponsoring all of our guests. Meldon Law won't back down, the only injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. And thanks to Gator Domino's for being a sponsor of Hour 2 of the show. International Diamond Center email, James, if LeBron teams up with Steph and Draymond, will they rename them the Golden Years Warriors? Boom. Yeah. I mean, look, Steph Curry and LeBron James are still really good players, age or not. I mean, they're both very good. I can count the championships in my lifetime from my hometown pro teams on one finger. Cleveland. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was always taught as a kid that as bad as you think it is, there's always something worse. Cleveland is worse. Yeah. I mean, if you go back to the Browns, they were good, won championships, but that was a long time ago. The baseball transfer portal, I believe, is done today, but recruiting doesn't stop. So we'll see what happens with that. I think Florida did pretty well. I think they addressed some of their needs, but look, I've said this a million times. You do not ever know how somebody works out until, Surowick's going to come back. That certainly, on paper, helps a great deal. Middle of the order bat. We'll see where he ends up defensively. But that is certainly a good thing for Florida. And then we'll see what the draft does with some of the other guys. And we'll see how that transpires. All right. Our final guest today is going to be talking Ole Miss football after Lane Kiffin. So that'll be coming up next as we talk to Michael Katz. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville and you'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
In celebration of America's 250th, Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC makes this declaration. All Americans have the right to a new vehicle at a low interest rate. Announcing 0% financing for 60 months and no payments for 90 days on new Chevy Trax, Equinox, and Silverado 1500. Plus 0% financing for 60 months and no payments for 130 days on GMC Sierra 1500. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 1666 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before. With a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it. At Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy Chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Partly cloudy skies and breezy for us this afternoon with occasional gusts to about 20 miles an hour. High temperatures in the lower 90s, feeling like 100 for several hours this afternoon. We do have a few showers working their way inland from the Atlantic coast. They'll track from east to west and be isolated to scattered at best in coverage. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
We end our look at some of the teams that Florida football will play in the fall. Ole Miss, one of them. Joining us now is Michael Katz, who covers Ole Miss for the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. Michael, welcome. Good to have you back. I've asked the same thing of just about everybody here. Pete Golding is now there. Lane Kiffin is gone. First of all, him there the whole time here, what difference might we see with Golding at the helm as opposed to Lane Kiffin?
I think that, I guess among other things, what we've seen so far, and then obviously it's a small sample size, but I think there's been an increased emphasis on traditional high school recruiting. That is one thing that they have made a big priority. Obviously, Lane recruited pretty well. The emphasis was a lot of that was transfer portal. And obviously Ole Miss is still going to utilize that, and they did a nice job with that again this offseason. But I think that getting back to traditional high school recruiting to get kids in a little bit younger, I think is part of it. But I think if we're talking about in game, and I think we sort of started to see this a little bit in the college football playoff, particularly in that Sugar Bowl against Georgia. Lane Kiffin was known for the fourth down tries and kind of the riverboat gambler kind of thing. And a lot of times it worked, and sometimes it didn't. I'm not so sure that, Lucas Carnero, the All-American kicker, gets the opportunity to kick those kicks against Georgia if Lane is the head coach. Just having covered him for a while, and again, maybe he does, but those feel like situations where he might have gone for it on fourth down rather than let the kicker do his thing. So I think that's going to be something, maybe a little bit more reliant on special teams. That might be something we see a little bit more of.
As you take a look at Ole Miss's schedule, how do you see that? Where do you see Ole Miss this early getting ready to play another season?
Yeah, I think that there's a really good chance that this Ole Miss team is probably, by the eye test, significantly better than it was last year, but the record might not show that because the schedule is so much harder. Again, Texas, Oklahoma, LSU, Florida, Missouri. You've got all these. Even the opener against Louisville is not exactly an easy one. The schedule is a lot more complicated than it was last year, and that's obviously you play who's on your schedule and you work with what you got, and they did a pretty incredible job navigating that last year, with the only loss being Georgia, and then avenging that loss in the playoff, and before ultimately falling to Miami, and of course they get Georgia again. So it's a really hard schedule. If this team is like 10-2. They are a no-brainer playoff team if they made it through that schedule. Even 9-3, I think, is a conversation, depending on who they beat and who they lose to. But I think this team is better in terms of the roster pretty much everywhere.
Wow. Let me ask this as well. If I said to you areas of concern, where would you go?
I think as of right now, I don't know if it might not end up being a concern, but when I look at the offensive tackles, I think that's a big one. I think Diego Pounds and Jaden Williams gave up a combined one sack last year, and that was so big. And obviously Trinidad Chambliss, we know about his playmaking and his ability to extend plays and escape from bad situations, but he was put in some pretty good spots because of the tackles being able to help with build the pocket. So they get the center back and they get two guards back, and they brought in a couple tackles, but I think it's going to be a work in progress. I really don't think they exactly know how that is going to unfold right now. So I think that's a big one to watch. The other one I would say and would be wide receivers. Again, Deuce Alexander is back. But he's going to be in the number one role for the first time in his career. They lost a couple of really good receivers from last year and a really good tight end. DeJon Stribling and Harrison Wallace III and Daquan Wright are all gone. That's a lot of yards. Caden Lee transferred to Missouri. They lost a lot of production in that wide receiver room. So I think the talent is there to work. I think. But just how that unfolds, I think, is something to keep an eye on for sure.
Last thing I want to ask about, and I don't want to keep asking about Lane Kiffin because he's not there anymore, and that's the bottom line. Where is the fan base with Pete Golding? It seems to me they've kind of rallied around him. Would I be correct in saying that?
Absolutely. I think that given how that whole situation kind of went down, and the uncertainty and the secrecy, and then ultimately him leaving, I think Ole Miss really needed a guy who was all in on the program in Mississippi, and Pete Golding is very much that guy. He's a very different personality from Lane. I'm not saying that's good or bad, but I think that in this situation, I think being pretty different from Lane might be a good thing. Pete is a very open person. He's funny. He's just a very he's very personable, and he's never met a stranger, I think is a good way of putting it, and that's very different from Lane, who obviously is a brilliant coach, but sometimes would shut himself down a little bit and maybe not be super into the press conference or the sociable part of being a head coach. So I think that he's very different, and I think that's good. Obviously, he's all in on Ole Miss, and he's recruited in a way that makes it very apparent that he's all in on the program. And I think that over the last couple of years, I mean, I've covered Ole Miss for 5 years, and it feels like every year we were wondering, is Lane going or is he staying? And I think that for the first time in a while, that conversation isn't happening with the head coach, and I think that's really big.
Good thing to end on. Where can people see your work?
You can find me at deepjournal.com, and you can find me on Twitter/X at Michael L. Katz.
Appreciate you, Michael. And when we go get you back on when Florida plays Ole Miss in the fall, thanks for the time.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.
You got it. Does a good job, Michael Katz. All right, we're going to end today. Let me just say, first of all, tomorrow, Graham Hall, 247 Sports, my buddy, is going to host Sports Scene. Then we will take a break until August 3rd. There are so many people, because we've now gone through the Gator calendar year, and coming back has been fun. It's been challenging at times, but it's a privilege to sit in this chair. It's a privilege to have done this show for as long as I have, because I really enjoy talking sports with you. We don't always have to agree, but it's a 2-hour forum that was set up for you, and it remains that way. It's a lot of fun working with our students who produce shows every day, who do the jobs that they do. I really miss teaching, but it's the best, it's the closest thing I still have to it, and to see the work that they do every day here. Many thanks to the coaches, to the players, to the sports information people that arrange those guests, because on days when you don't want to talk sports, like today, there's a lot of guests you have to have, and really appreciate that. Freddie Wiebe, who coaxed me into coming back and doing this. To all of our sponsors, a big thank you, and we hope you'll be back with us come August. And again, you can contact Freddie, 352-284-3733, and we'd love to have you be part of the Sports Scene advertising family. We would enjoy that a great deal. It's gone by fast. And, when I agreed to come back here and do this, I was very upfront about it. It's year to year. Year to year. We're still going to do the pre- and post-game football shows, all of that, plus Sports Scene. We're going to do Inside the Huddle. We're going to do the baseball show, the basketball show with Mark Wise. All that will start when we crank things back up here, at least for Sports Scene, on August 3rd. And a big thank you to Kevin Winter. Kevin has taken over here, and he's done a great job in making our station sound really, really good. He's become a very good friend, and enjoy working with him. He's great working with the kids, too. So it's been a pleasure to come back and do that. All right. So, again, Graham here tomorrow. Then we're going to play a little golf and play a little softball and take a little time off until August 3rd. But thank you to all of you for listening, emailing, and talking sports. And thanks to Tori today for producing the show. Sports Lab Gang next. I'll see you in a few days. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
The John Sumrall era begins this September, right here on WRUF.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators! It's lunchtime.